Now, I know what you're thinking. Patrick, the Taskmaster shield doesn't expand. But what if I told you it actually does? The Black Widow movie had some insane fight scenes, insane cinematics. They looked absolutely fantastic. The Taskmaster specifically showcased like an absolute perfect rendition of the character. It showed them with the ability to replicate like everybody's fight style perfectly. Everyone from the Black Panther, Hawkeye, the Black Widow, the Winter Soldier, there's a lot of those, and lastly, Captain America, which we are going to focus on for this video. So this is where a lot of people get confused. The first interaction with Black Widow and Taskmaster, we actually get the scene where the shield expands. The Taskmaster is walking towards Natasha on the ground from an explosion. She pulls out a gun, fires gun, Taskmaster shield comes out of nowhere. How did that happen? Science. The only logical explanation for this is that it comes from the actual gauntlet that is on the Taskmaster's armor piece. It just goes ahead and like fans out to create the shield. Now obviously when they can throw it off of the shield, that's where it doesn't make any sense, but it's a comic book movie. It's not really supposed to make sense. The fact is it's in the wrist gauntlet, fans out, and that's what we are going to be going for. But just to prove my point, I'm going to scour the internet for the answer, going through, finding it for you guys so that you guys know that I am telling the truth on this. Yeah, I just did a Google search. I am smart. Okay, so now that we all know that this shield actually expands, it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. The first thing I did was search expandable shield on YouTube to see what other creators have done. Colin Furs had a really cool design out of metal. He actually used a motor to open and close the shield.
Oh, yes it does!
The design works absolutely fantastic. However, it's way too overcomplicated for what we need. Like, could you imagine the Taskmaster carrying around a drill with them wherever they went and just went every single time they needed to block like a shot or throw the shield? That would just be ridiculous. With that being said, it had a really good like basic design where it was one panel on top of another panel on top of another panel and so on and so forth to create the fan effect. I think that we could use that basic design to make this shield a lot more simpler. So we're gonna use that for the base of the design. So first thing I did was make this quick pie template for a shield. What you wanna do is make 21 of these. I know it is a lot of pieces, but trust me, it's gonna look fantastic in the end. Also, the link is in the description for you to download that template. It's a very simple template. You can make it yourself if you want to. You just take the full size of the shield, cut that in half, and then draw the pie thing. It's very simple. So for the base of the shield, we're actually gonna be using just some cardboard for it. Cardboard is very like malleable and flexible, so we transferred that over to 21 pieces of cardboard, at which point we want to now attach it together using some hot glue. Now you might be thinking, Patrick, well, what the hell are you attaching this together for if you're gonna separate it later on? And the reason for that is that we actually need to make all of the curves the same. That way they can slide on top and underneath each other. It's just gonna make it a lot simpler in the future if we do it this way. So now that this was all attached, I taped it down to my table and applied a very generous coat of resin. This is going to really strengthen the cardboard because cardboard is very weak, but with the resin, it makes it a lot stronger. You're gonna wanna let that cure for about 24 hours, then take off all the tape, then reapply the resin to the other pieces that were taped down. The reason that we had to do it this way is that, again, we had to get that nice curve. The resin would have just kind of like made it lift up. So having that shield taped down gave it that nice curve. So again, another 24 hours have passed, so it's already been 2 days. We're gonna take that shield and just use a craft knife or a very sharp blade. A saw blade will actually work the best. I just didn't have one, so I just had to apply a little bit more pressure to it and cut out every single one of those pieces. After that, you're gonna wanna take some sandpaper and just sand down all of the sides of those pizza slices. This is going to make it, again, just slide over the other piece very nicely. You don't want anything to like hit and stop the shield from opening. That's just gonna be very frustrating. So sand it now and just don't deal with that headache in the future. So after that, we're gonna wanna use a hole puncher for this thing. What you want to do is do 2 holes on each pizza slice. One at the, if this is the pizza slice, one at the top here, this is going to be your anchor point, and then one at the bottom left, so your right as you're watching this video. You can do it on any side, it just depends on how you want to open the shield, but whichever side you open it on, do the same on every single one. So on this side, the left side, you're gonna wanna put a hole puncher through there. That is going to actually have the string going through it, and that's what's going to stop each shield piece in its spot correctly. So now that we have the holes done, we want to just apply some leak seal to it. This I did about 2 coats on every single piece. This is just so that we can paint it in the future, and the paint isn't going to ruin the cardboard if something wasn't covered in resin. To make the silver, I just applied 3 coats of this silver paint. It worked really well. I thought it turned out really fantastically. The next thing we want to do is actually put the orange, that weird orange design that's on it. I don't understand it. If you understand it, let me know in the comments. I don't understand why it's designed like that, but it's cool, so I guess that works. To do this, we want to actually anchor the pieces down through the middle point. That is the anchor point. Set it all up as if the shield was already fanned out. Then we're just gonna take some orange paint from the dollar store. I put a little bit of brown paint in it just to make it a little bit darker. I thought the neon orange was just a little bit too neon, so toss some brown in there to make it a little bit darker. Applied it, did that little weird shape thing, let that sit for a few hours, and then we're gonna move on to the actual string. So we're pretty much all done at this point. We're gonna take the 17-pound fishing line. I used a clear one just to make it as not noticeable as possible. Plus I put all of the string lengths, like the long pieces, behind the shield. So again, you cannot really see it. That is very crucial. I think putting it behind it hides it very well, and only you can see the strings behind it. It makes a lot more sense in my opinion. So to get this length correctly, it's very simple. This is your starting point. This is the second piece that you want to attach, right? So these 2 pieces. This piece is already tied into its point. What you're gonna wanna do is set the second piece up to exactly where you want it to be when it's folded out, have the string going through there, tie it to that point where you want it to stop, put some super glue on it just to make sure it stays in. Now, when it opens and closes, it can only go so far every single time. So when your force brings it to the stop point, it cannot go any further, it cannot do any less. It's going to stop there because the next piece and gravity is going to take effect, and so on and so forth. All right, you just gotta do that 20 more times. Yay. Camera?
Yeah. I can be more.
It was still rolling.
Yeah, I know, I left it on. Oh, fuck. Did I break it? I think I broke it.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. It's been fixed.
Fuck. Now I'm afraid to break it again.
It's okay.
Hit.
Nice.
Oh.
Very nice. Honestly, this turned out really well. I was very, very happy with how this project turned out, and the fact that it worked right away, I was like, awesome, this is great. So this is the shield right here, and this is just, I'm just gonna explain it very simply. So as you can see, there's some string right here. Maybe you can kind of see that. So again, when you open the shield, it's going to just fall down due to gravity. I can show you from the back here. So this is a piece here. You can kind of see the string right here. That can only open up that much. Cannot go any further. That way it does not go past the previous point, and it's not gonna look weird. So you'll see some duct tape right here, and you might be like, well, what happened there? we're having a little bit too much fun with it and just seeing how hard we can flick it, and broke this piece off of it twice. Just threw some tape on it just so I can like show you guys what it looks like. To fix that, all I would do is add more resin to these like base plate pieces. And again, you can make that out of something stronger if you want it to really last. You can use like a very thin piece of wood, or you can just use multiple pieces of cardboard, which is probably the best choice. But like, it still goes on like so. I made it like a hand gripper. I thought that was like the best way to control it. You just kind of punch up in the air and turn your wrist like so, just like that, and it opens up. As you can see, the design's there. Obviously, I could have done a little bit better of a design on it, but I mean, it does the exact job that it's supposed to do, and you could still close it. So you just move the pieces back and forth, hit them back in place. I think I want to try and do something where it could stop them at the end so that when I flick it back, it lands perfectly in its spot. That would be cool for like a version 2, or maybe I'll do something out of metal, kind of like Colin. That would be fun as well. But yeah, just like that. Like, it's, the noise it makes is so cool. This is freaking amazing. The fact that this was my first time doing something like this, absolutely proud of myself. So yeah, the only things I would have changed on it would be a little bit better of a design for this part, a stronger back plate for when opening it, it doesn't break. That's about it. Like, it's really good for like just a homemade thing. Very happy with it. Let me know if you guys want to see like a version 2 of this. Maybe I can do something where it's made out of metal, where I'm using a motor to open it, something a little bit more sleek. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys want to see that. Also, if you guys want to see other like Marvel, DC, superhero, comic book props, leave them down below. Whatever gets the most interest, I will make. Like, I want to make the stuff that you guys want to see. So leave that down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for more videos all related to cosplay, movies, that sort of stuff. And again, thank you for watching.
Nice.
Nice.